Right, I think we're officially live now. Hopefully everything is up and running properly now that we are hopefully broadcasting live. This is the eufyMake E1. We're doing a in-stock live stream event today since the eufyMake E1 is now officially back in stock, or in stock for the first time over on their website where you can purchase this today. I'm gonna be printing with this throughout the live stream. We've also got a bunch of giveaways that we're gonna be doing throughout this. As you'll see here, I've got a print up and running. This is a quick one that I think some of you, if you've watched any of my previous streams or have seen some of the more popular clips of mine from online, will probably immediately recognize. This right now is printing using the mini flatbed. And what's awesome about this is it's kind of like a mixture between a 2D printer and a 3D printer, because you can print in just about any color that you want. And then with some of the functionality that's baked into this, it's gonna actually create this 2D effect on some of your prints. So this is just finishing up here, and we'll see. I'm printing on a ceramic tile as well, which is just awesome. You can print on so many different things with this machine. So let's see. This is... okay. All right. This is, if anybody has watched any of my live streams, you might be familiar with me doing a little incident that occurred in a live stream a year or two ago where I shattered a glass door, and this is a freeze frame from that I took and had printed here on the E1. And this was a 2-minute and 55-second print on the E1. And again, printing directly on this ceramic tile that has a magnet attached to the back, so I can slap this here on my fridge or around the studio. But these are just some of the kind of things that you can come up with and very quickly and easily print with and give out as gifts, or a lot of people are using these as things to look at selling with their eufyMake E1. So this is just like, right now we've got a combination of the two here. So I was playing around with some of the settings on this, and so this one was under 3 minutes this took, and it was nice and flat of a print. So it's basically taking that digital artwork or that digital image and printing it directly on here. And then another one that I tried playing around with was creating that 2.5D or 3.5D textured effect on this, where it's, I minimized it. So I tried to keep it to a minimum so it would still print relatively quickly and not use up a whole lot of ink. But it's really fun to be able to actually run your fingers over this and feel the texture of the raised surface on these particular prints. But as I was mentioning, today is the in-stock day. And so for the E1, there is links in the chat. They should be pinned there, hopefully. If not, they're in the description down below, where you can check out the E1. And there are 2 different bundles that they have up and available for purchase. And again, if you are not already familiar with this, this was the highest backed Kickstarter campaign in the history of Kickstarter last year. And it was just absolutely insane how big of a campaign this was and how big it blew up. There's so much interest in this, and there's a lot of use cases that you can play around with this. So what I want to show you is, again, some of the fun things that you can do with this, especially when it comes to mixing 3D printing with the eufyMake. So here is a set of golf balls that we're going to be printing on. You're not just limited to printing with flat surfaces or flat objects. And the other really cool thing for me that I enjoy is that there's already a ton of different users that have the eufyMake in hand and have been creating 3D printed jigs for different objects that you might be looking to print on. So in this case, I'm gonna be printing directly on these golf balls, and how this works is I'm gonna put this inside the print bed here. What's really cool is also this has a textured sticky surface to the print bed. And then what it's gonna do is I'm gonna come in and in the software, so here I'll start a new canvas. Did you want to switch over to the computer? So while switching over to the computer view, we're going to take a snapshot, and basically what it has, there's a top-down camera that it's going to analyze what's on the bed and figure out what the highest point is of that object that we can then print on. So in this case, it's going to be taking a snapshot of these golf balls. And then once the snapshot is in place, we can then directly print on top of those. So I've got some logos of mine that I'll be looking at printing. This again makes for a great way to create custom gifts or things, maybe whether it's family members or businesses. There is a whole lot of opportunity, especially when it comes to printing and selling things with the E1. I think that's probably what a large majority of people are interested in, aside from just the craft side of this. So the scanning, that took all of, I think, 30 seconds on the short bed here. And you'll see here, I just got the newest firmware update. There has been multiple different software updates and firmware updates that have come to the printer. So they're continually evolving and improving the software that comes with this. So here, it's tried to identify the areas that it's going to actively print on. So I've already gotten a bunch of images uploaded that I'm going to work with. So here is, let's say my, yes, I want to resize this. Here's my logo in color. It's a PNG, and it's already got the background removed, and we can snap that into our little golf ball here. It's going to try and reposition it. There's some intelligence, it looks like, that was added with this latest update, which is pretty cool. I'm going to shrink this down just because I know that when printing on that rounded surface, it's going to end up stretching the outer boundaries of my logo a bit. So I'm going to also do one that's just my standard logo without the text, and then I got it, and then it's going to auto try to orient this for me based on the golf ball. So I'm assuming there's a way in the software. This is the newest update of the software. Literally right before this, we updated this. So I'm playing with this new update with you guys as we're going through it here. So this auto orient thing was not there previously. So this is fun for me to actually do with you guys. So it looks like I can actually take some of those and then I can adjust them as well. And I'll do the same thing with this. I'll just copy and paste that and paste it in here. And then I'm going to shrink that back down. And then we'll do the same one for this logo here. And then I'm assuming it's going to try and blow that back up. I'm guessing if you don't want this, there's probably a setting in the software to disable that. Again, this is something new that they just literally put out today, this morning. And then, so once we're in here in the software, on the right-hand side, we can describe what kind of material that you're printing with. So again, you can print on basically any kind of surface you're going to be able to print on, whether it's wood, acrylics, metal, they have plastic, ceramics, glass, you name it, you're going to be able to print on it here. Cardboard, I don't know if that was on there. That might have been a new option that they've just added. Leather, I have not tried printing on leather yet, but I'm going to say that this is plastic. I don't know really what a golf ball is made of. I can also describe the quality of how, like, standard is pretty much everything that I've been working with, and all my prints have been turning out great. I'm going to come in here, and one thing that I am going to adjust is I'm going to come in here and knock down the number of white layers to CMYK layers. So I'm going to do a 1-to-1 ratio. One, because I'm trying to speed this up for the stream so that we can get through as many prints as I possibly can. The more white layers it's going to put down initially underneath your object, it's going to make that image pop even better. And since our golf balls are already white, I'm not too concerned about that. The other thing that I wanted to mention before I hit print on these is one thing I would recommend doing is, like with these golf balls, these are not brand new golf balls. These are used golf balls that came directly out of my golf bag. I go golfing like once a year with some friends. I would recommend, when it comes to something like this, that you take some isopropyl alcohol and just clean the surface ever so gently to remove any kind of oils or dirt or debris or dust in my case, because mine have just been sitting there not being used. And before you try and print on them, that way it will actually adhere as best as possible to the surface. But I have just printed on some dirty golf balls as a test, and it worked just fine as well. So I'm gonna hit print on this, and we are gonna let this rock and roll. And while this is printing, I will again reiterate, we've got some giveaways that we're gonna be doing here. Here's a really cool thing, just to get you guys a heads up. So I hit print on the software, it sent it to the machine. It's asking me to hit this button up top here to start the print. So I'm starting the print job. There is a setting that I just found out about yesterday in the software that I can circumvent having to walk over to the machine and hit start. That was like one of the very few complaints that I had, was that I had to physically walk over and hit confirm to start versus just sitting at my desk. So there's a setting that you can enable to do all of that, which is just makes everything so much easier, so much easier. But what it's gonna do is, again, it's gonna get everything positioned in place, get all the print head all primed and ready to go with the ink, and then get this printing. So along the top here is where all of the ink cartridges are loaded in. We have CMYK. You also have a white as well as a gloss set of inks that are gonna be loaded into this. There's also a cleaning solution that I'll be talking about a little bit later in this. And then you can actually see it as it's printing here. So it's gonna be using this, this UV print head technology, where it's gonna be laying down those inks to print directly on top of this here. And then, that's good. I'm being communicated to off stage as well. But basically there's just, again, a huge system of, yes, there is also, you can open and close these completely as well. Thank you. So if you wanted to leave this completely closed with the small bed, you can. For show and tell purposes here, we've left the doors open. There is a larger bed as well that this comes with that we'll be printing on here in just a few minutes. But that's gonna move back and forth. That requires you to keep these, keep the doors open. But again, if you wanted to, these are just magnetically latched in place here and allows you to keep everything secured in place. Since this is a UV light, you will notice that I don't have my face jammed up in here trying to stare at this while it's printing. That is not recommended. They do come with protective glasses that you can wear if you needed to get up on here and check things out as it's printing. I've never really done that. I'm trying not to zap my eyes or tattoo my eyes with this UV printer. But this, again, is just like the possibilities with this are wild. My dad has already requested a custom set of golf balls, so I'll definitely be doing that. It's just a fun little way to give off gifts. One really big thing that I have been seeing people doing online is they've already created, there's like 4 or 5 different sets of custom 3D printable pen and pencil jigs so that you can print on like basically an endless supply of pens, whether it's business information, your personal logo, maybe it's like a family event, a get together, and you wanted to create something special. You can use that as a really effective and easy way to mass produce a whole bunch of these pens. I also saw like bulk listings of pens on Amazon, which is now something I'm considering. Like locally here, I could be offering this as a service to sell custom made pens when someone needs something, especially in a pinch, because you're gonna be able to crank these out in literally like an hour, less than an hour when it comes to, excuse me, a lot of these prints. And again, we're just looking at these 4 golf balls here, and this should be, I don't know, it's almost done. It's 20 seconds left on this print. So it's all of, I think, 6 minutes, I think was my estimate that I ran previously on this. It's pretty incredible how quickly this can churn through even some of the bigger things that it's able to print on. So I'm gonna take this out here. These even look better than the test that I did. Okay, so here we go. I've got a large one, a large logo versus the small logo, and hopefully use it on, okay, good. And then that, I think, worked really well, like how vibrant that was. And then we've got the circular logo option that has the actual Uncle Jessy text in it. Here's where you can see, depending on how wide, oh, like this is a rounded object here, so you can't go too wide or it's gonna start to blur out the edges there. So that's just one thing to consider when you're doing this. I'm sure there are probably some better tips that you can mess around with in the software to achieve even better results with this. But one thing that I will be showing off here later in the stream is using the rotary attachment, which isn't for golf balls, but it's gonna be using for things like coffee cups or mugs or thermoses or things like that that you wanna be able to print fully around in a circle. I just love, it's like this simple combination of things like this, of 3D printing and having a jig for this to hold golf ball, because this isn't gonna, like this would just roll around here without this properly made printed jig. So with all that, I wanted to show you again printing something unique that I don't necessarily think I've seen anybody printing with so far on their E1s, which is I made a set of AirTag holders. My AirTags are going off. But this is a 3D printed jig that I made. It's a very basic jig. I'll be sharing this online. I'll be sharing it on eufyMake's site, by the way. In their software and eufyMake Studio, you can get access to libraries of projects that other people have created. So I'll be sharing this there, where you can, if you have AirTags and wanted to print directly on top of an AirTag, you'll be able to do that. Now, again, I'm gonna load this in here and I'm just gonna print on 2 of them for now. Or maybe I'll just print on 1 of them. But I'm gonna do another snapshot so that it knows what the heck that we're trying to print on. And let me come back into the studio. And one of the features after it does the snapshot here, I wanted to talk with you about. But this is like, it's one of those things that I wouldn't have necessarily assumed that I would be able to print directly on an AirTag, because it has that glossy, smooth surface, and it works so well. And we've got a really fun print that we're gonna be doing on this. It's not like a luggage or a car, where if I wanted to stick this in my car and make sure I knew where my car was at all times. We're gonna be doing something a little creepier-ish. So having some fun with it, that's for sure. So again, it does a very quick scan of the object, and then it will pop up here in the software for us to then apply our artwork to. So again, and then you can take any kind of artwork that you've created on your computer or found online and bring that into the software to be able to print with. So here, it's identified the object on the bed, and it doesn't know that there's individual objects there. So I'm actually gonna play with this and see. Actually, I can delete that entirely. Perfect. So I just clicked on it and deleted the smart thing that it had on there because I wanna do this manually. So I've got a creepy eyeball. The problem with my creepy eyeball, I found this online. I just Googled, I wanted an eyeball that I could print, like a high quality eyeball, but it doesn't have the transparent background to it. Inside the software, there are built-in tools that you can use to further enhance the artwork that you're gonna be printing with. So in this case, there's a background removal tool that I can use. So it's gonna come in here, it's gonna, fingers crossed, there we go. It identified where the background was and completely removed that. One of the other ones that I've used a lot, this is already a high resolution image, but the one that I did of my face that I showed off from the stream here, we'll cut over to that. This one, I used their upscaler tool because this was like a 720p live stream recording that I had done, that I took a snapshot from the recording, loaded it here into the software, and then used the upscaler tool to make this a higher resolution image for me to actually be able to print with. And it turned out awesome. It turns out so much better than the actual screenshot. So let me, again, I can come in here and I can drag this to size. I can zoom in here and really make sure that we're getting into this eyeball that we're gonna be printing on. I think I'm just gonna do one of these. And then on the right-hand side, this is where things get really fun within the eufyMake Studio. So you can print this flat. So if you just wanted to do a flat CMYK image, like just it's going to be like as crisp and clean as you can get it here. That's going to be flat. The flat raised is going to give it a little bit of texture. The pattern texture is where, this is my bread and butter when it comes to printing things. This is where the one I spend most of my time printing. This is going to allow me to print, and it automatically generates a slight texture to it. So I can come down here and choose if it's going to be color raised, if it's going to be gloss raised, how thick is it going to be. So I'm going to reduce the thickness just ever so slightly. It's an AirTag. It's not anything major. And then the smoothness, I almost always reduce down to a 2 or a 3, again, just to minimize some of the ink usage. There is also an ink savings mode. So if you wanted to further try and reduce and save on some of the ink that you're going to be printing with, you can use that. One of the other modes that I did not mention is there's a texture, a relief texture option where it's going to use some AI functionality to generate some really large raised surfaces. You can also, if you have a UV map, a UV bump map, I think is what it's called, like a texture map, you can upload that under the custom textures. So here I'm gonna hit print, and it's gonna, again, send this to the machine. This should be, you know, again, a relatively quick thing. I should have already probably hit print with this. But here's what I was saying before. You can either come up to the printer and hit start, or in the software, there's a start button. Thank you. That was, you know, I can't believe I didn't know about that. The things I learn while prepping for these live streams. While this is printing, I again wanted to remind everybody that we're going to be coming up, once this print finishes, we're going to be coming up on our first giveaway. So if you haven't already, you make sure to stick around for that. Also, again, if you're interested in more information about the eufyMake E1, there are links in the, hopefully pinned links there in the chat, or links in the description down below, where you can check this out. We're also live streaming directly on eufyMake's website. So I wanted to say hello to everybody that's at the eufyMake website watching this live stream as well. I lost my chat window. Hold on. I'm reloading this. I wanted to, as this was printing, I figured I'd come in here and read some of the comments and just interact with some of y'all's while this is up and printing. Also, I wanted to mention it's not super loud while it's printing. That's another important factor for me because I'm constantly printing and either recording videos or on conference calls, and I don't want something super loud. One thing that, you know, to also be aware of, since this is a UV printer, you'll not necessarily want to have this in your bedroom where you're sleeping and printing. I have it set up in my office or here in this space, and I'm typically printing and running all around here, and it's been fine. eufyMake is selling, I think, is it up today, is an air extraction, or it's coming soon, is the air extraction thing, a unit that's coming to this machine as well, which will be really cool that you can hook up to a window to help exhaust anything like that. I just saw Ajax, what's up, dude? Are we printing on fabric today? No, no, I want it, I still have to play with that, unfortunately. Ajax, was it yours? Ajax, it was your, I think Ajax 3D made a 3D printed accessory for the eufyMake specifically for t-shirts or fabric material that will allow you to pinch and lock it in place so that it's a really flat surface, a tight flat surface that you can print on. They all, eufyMake is going to be offering, or I'm not sure if it's up on the website yet, flexible inks as well, I believe, or a flexible white ink, which would be nice. Yeah, is it available now? Or soon? Okay, coming soon. Robert Mayo. Wanted to know about the ultimate, the Wham Bam mat. Yeah, there's, and if you have to recalibrate with it. I didn't have to do any recalibration. I basically, I have those. That's the other really cool thing. There are, this isn't from eufyMake, but there's things like silicone mats that you can print with on this. So that if there's overspray or anything like that, it's going on the silicone mat. All I did was, you just put it on the bed and then you just run your normal snap scan and then you start printing, which is awesome. And then, let's see. Yeah, it is Ajax. Yes, it is up on Maker World. There are, again, if you just go on Make a World or Printables, or if you go in eufyMake Studio in their software where you can check out some of the designs and projects, people will have linked to their 3D print files, whether it's Thingiverse, Printables, Things, Make a World, wherever it may be, the 3D printable accessories that you can print with this. There's also alignment tools that I've printed, so if you wanted to make sure that your object is nice and straight, I printed a little, oh, I don't have it up here on the desk with me, but it's a little thing that snaps over the flat, the mini bed that allows me to align it. There's also like a little like a right angle square that people have printed that you can use for the larger bed to make sure that everything's at like as best of a 90-degree angle as possible. How consistent is the homing and coordinates? In other words, using the same jigs. Yes, you can print within, depending 3D keycap, I believe so. Because when I've used, if you're printing the same, like the golf balls that I had, as long as you're not moving the jig out of the way, you're not having to recalibrate, you're not having to re-snap. You can basically just take these off, put new golf balls on, and then rerun the project over again, if I was understanding correctly. Also, 112 Miguel, thank you, that was completely unnecessary. Have you printed anything in 1/12 scale? I have not. There is, I think it was Faux Hammer Ross was printing on D&D terrain, which I thought was a super cool idea. Instead of painting, you could just print directly on your D&D terrain textures. One thing that I did print with that I've shown off in a social post was how I made a custom comic book sign. So I've got a comic book rack behind me in the corner that needed a sign. So I'm shamelessly admitting I used some AI here, some AI art. My son ribs me for it all the time. But I was using this with a 3D printed base, which you can actually see some of the print iterations on it. But if I flip this over, you'll see here where, again, I was playing with some of the settings, and this turned out so much cleaner with the white base layer that it put down. So again, you can put down, whether it's 1 layer, 2 layer, no layers. This, I think, was 3 white base layers, which gave it a really smooth finish to this particular signage. Also, this was much more glossy than the backside here. That already finished. That already finished. Okay. Yes. And after I show this off, we're gonna be doing our first giveaway. So here is our AirTag. This was a 6-minute, 30-second print. And I don't know how well this will show up, but it has this awesome raised textured surface to the eyeball. And it's just, it's like the little details with these things that it's able to capture with this. The other setting that I was playing around with is in the software, there's an invert function. So depending on if you want the darker sections or more vibrant sections raised versus, let's say, the white areas, you can invert those textures so it will print the opposite. So maybe you want something to be more inset versus popping out. You have that ability within the software. But it's just a really, again, a really cool, fun way to customize and accessorize some of the objects that you have. So now that we've gotten through a few prints, I think it's time that we should jump in and do our first giveaway. So our first giveaway that we are going to be looking at doing is we have a, hold on, I've got to get my notes out here. Our first giveaway is we have 4 different sets of the white and gloss ink sets. So it's this combination of, you're going to be going through white and gloss is probably what I go through more than the actual CMY case. So there's 4 of these that we're going to be giving away. A set of these, we're going to be giving away 2 here on YouTube and then 2 over on the eufyMake website in their live stream as well. So in order to enter in this giveaway, what you're going to do is in the comments here in YouTube, if you're watching from YouTube, my live stream, you need to enter in and type in the comments 3D texture and to enter in this giveaway. So 3D space texture to enter the giveaway, and you'll be considered. If you're watching this from the eufyMake website, there is a choose the correct answer. It should be like an A-B type question. I'm giving you the answers to the quiz here. The answer is 3D texture. It's the same thing here on YouTube that you're gonna have to enter. I would, if you play your cards right as well, you could potentially, if you go in and click on the link, there should be a pinned link in the comment section, and it's check out the eufyMake live stream. You can simultaneously be watching on YouTube here with me, as well as over on the eufyMake website. And if you wanted to try and get in 2 entries there, you can do one on YouTube, one on the eufyMake website. But I figure we'll let this run here for a minute or 2 before we do the first giveaway. But again, this is for the 4 set. We're giving away 4 sets of the white and gloss ink sets here. And then again, 2 on YouTube that we're going to be giving away, 2 over on the eufyMake website. One call out that I have to make is we will be able to announce the winners, and I think it will announce the winners in the chat here on the YouTube side. For the eufyMake website live stream, the eufyMake will be reaching out to the winners from there. I don't think we have a way to see or project that here in the chat. So eufyMake will be handling that. I also have an awesome team that's helping out here. So they're helping behind the scenes while I'm doing all the chatting here with everybody. I promise you, I'm going to be getting back to the comments here. There is a wall of 3D texture. If you're just joining in, we're doing the first giveaway for some of these inks here, the white ink and the glossy ink. Again, this is before it lays down any of the color. It's gonna typically, you can choose to not if you want to, but if you wanted to, here, let's do this one. I've got some goofy stuff that I've printed that I can show off here, but from past print jobs where like this is a 3D printed, like a custom 3D printed shape, and then took some artwork and then an image and printed directly on that. And then I can embed magnets in the back to make my own custom set of magnets here. And again, what it's gonna do is use that white ink to lay down before it does the CMYK layer. The other really cool thing with the eufyMake software is if you're printing on something like an acrylic sheet, if you imagine a piece of acrylic is completely clear on both sides. So it can print the CMYK first, and then the white, and then another layer of CMYK so that you could potentially see through the object on both sides. Here's another just example of something really goofy that I made, a magnet. This is, Repcord and I were messing around. This is actually for an outlet cover that I'll be showing, and we'll show that off. Yeah, in just a few minutes, yeah. So we're gonna give this a few minutes, just so if anybody hasn't already gotten in, you can jump in. Again, we're giving away this, 2 sets of these, 4 sets total, 2 here on YouTube and 2 over on the eufyMake live stream website. And again, if you haven't already, check out the links. You'll be able to go to the eufyMake website and answer the question there, which is 3D texture. And if you're here in YouTube, type in the comments 3D texture with a space between that to enter in. Did we confirm, is that case sensitive or anything like that? Or is it okay, lowercase? It's all okay, good. So I think as long as you got 3D texture written in there, you're in the giveaway. And we'll be doing that here in just a moment. What I am gonna be doing here as well is while we're talking about this, I am going to give you guys another quick tip, which is because I'm gonna be swapping out the mini bed for the larger bed. And one quick tip that I have, if I can find it, is the printer itself comes with the bed, and it comes with these little sticky pads that you can print with. The sticky pads have the plastic sheeting on top of it. Don't throw this plastic sheeting out, because you can place that right back on top of this sticky pad, and it helps preserve the stickiness of that surface, so that you're not wasting that up. eufyMake also does a really great job of putting out some tips and tricks over on their website, on their blog, I believe, is where I saw this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have been throwing those out. I'm gonna keep those because it actually does a really good job of making sure that those stay sticky, that you're gonna be able to continue to have things stick and print with it. So why don't we pick the giveaway winners for this first giveaway. Again, you'll have 30 seconds here to enter in. If you haven't already, type in the YouTube comments, 3D texture. If you're on the eufyMake website, you can do the answer the question, and the answer is 3D texture. So let's pick the winners here and see who they are. It will show me here on YouTube, I believe, in the comments in the next few seconds here. We're gonna, and I'll take a sip of water as we're going. Okay. Let's see. Is it? Okay, congratulations to Dalton Kaysen6948. You are the first winner of the glossy, the glossy ink and the white. And then congratulations to My Stacian. Both of those are the YouTube winners. Again, we won't be able to announce the winners on the eufyMake site during this live stream. eufyMake will be reaching out directly to those, to those two winners from the eufyMake website, whoever won those, which will be pretty cool. But I'm glad to see that we're able to see the winners here on the YouTube side. And then eufyMake will also be reaching out to the winners on both sides here to obviously make sure you get access to these, to your winnings. But we're not, again, limited to just little things here. I have a super cool project that I am very excited to share with you all, that we're gonna be printing a piece of the project. So I'm gonna load up the large bed. So you'll see this is a much larger bed than the smaller bed. I have no idea what I just did with the bed. All right, I was gonna show you the small bed versus the large bed, but it's okay. Oh, the other thing that I did not mention is when you put the beds in, or it's the Rotary device, everything locks into place. So it's just literally put it in and latch it into place. And then I'm going to remove the protective sticker here that I put on there. Probably should have done that before. Okay, and finish. Now, I'm gonna start a new design, this time using the large bed. I also have this is a custom 3D printed shape that we're gonna be printing directly on. That isn't the one that I wanted to print on. Here's the one that I wanted to print on. Same exact looking thing, but basically I'm going to try and align this as best I can, as straight as I can here on the bed. Actually, this new alignment tool that's in the newest software update might come in really handy with this. So I'm gonna put this on, and it sticks, because of that sticky surface of the bed, it sticks really well here for this. So I'm gonna run a snapshot function. And again, it's going to take, the snapshot for the larger bed does take, I think it's about a minute. It takes about 30 seconds or so longer than the small bed. But it's gonna turn the light on here and then scan the object on the bed at varying heights so that it can try and get the proper scan for this object. And then we can apply our artwork to it. But this is a really cool project that I've had in mind for a while now, especially with this machine, and was really excited to try and get this built and in place for the live stream. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to again mention with the doors here, you do need to keep these open when using the larger bed. The other call out that I did not make that has been super helpful for me, because I'm constantly moving stuff around in my studio, is there are handles on the side of the machine. So that makes it really easy to, if you need to pick this up and reposition it, it is it's not the heaviest thing, but it's also not the lightest thing in the world when it comes to maneuvering that around. But this is going to be a really large print that we're going to be printing on. So again, I'm going to be trying to minimize the print time versus the wow factor, so to speak, for this. But we have the ability to, again, not just print with like flat objects here, but if you wanted to do a whole, I saw someone online, they have a jig for, I think it's specifically for golf balls, and it was a full bed full of golf balls. The other cool thing that I've seen people do is, I can't remember who the creator was. There was a creator here on YouTube that had, for Legos, you could make your own custom printed on Legos. And I think they did like a football, you know, UK, not US football, soccer uniforms on their Legos, which is really cool, just fun. Again, way to customize things. You can also do things like some signage or larger things. I know this was a project that I did previously. There's like a eufyMake, which you might be familiar with in the 3D printing world. And then here is the eufyMake, where the quality is like 1,000 times sharper than what I could ever get out of a eufyMake print there. Okay, so here is our scan, and this actually is going to be really cool. We're going to see how this is going to work together. Hopefully you all can see my screen. Is it showing that? Perfect. So I'm going to come into my library and pick one of the artwork images. This is going to be my space scene. I'm going to say resize to fit the canvas. I can as well. You can do things like rotate these around. I'm snapping, so it's snapping to 90 degrees. And then let's see if it didn't. I thought this would maybe do that. It's going to, let's see. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so here's part of this new update is basically this has created a path basically that my artwork is going to sit inside so that it's not overlapping. And you can see here where I didn't have that quite aligned right, so I can adjust that and then get this lined up as best as we can. And I actually like this, so I can rescale this up or down. I'm going to make it a little bit larger, and then I'm going to print this flat again, and I'm going to say one base layer. Let me just see my notes here. Actually, let's do no. Yeah, we'll try it. We'll do it live. So we're going to get this running. This is going to be a bigger print as part of a much larger project that I'm super excited to see how this turns out with everybody here on the stream. As you can see, it's a space themed. We're looking out into the deep voids of space here, and we can get this started. Oops. Got some schmudge on there. But let me look back in the chat here and see this. I did want to also talk about the cleaning cycles of the printer as well here in just a minute. Oh, no. Yeah, so I didn't have it at 90 degrees. Okay, that's why I was like, why did that snap in? It didn't snap quite right. So I had it wasn't quite 90 degrees where I snapped it. I might have held my finger. I'm not using my mouse. I'm using the touchpad of my laptop. Do you think the E1 could print a convincing carbon fiber twill pattern on a 3D object? Yeah, especially depending on how again, depends on the 3D object. If it's you're going to have a section of that object that it's flat so that it can actually print on that, because the more round the object, or organically shaped, the harder that's going to be to properly convince that texturing or print the texturing on there so that it's convincing, is what I'm trying to say. Nephilim? No, you're not late. We haven't done the E1 giveaway. However, we will be doing another giveaway here shortly. So that we'll probably start gearing up for that as we're finishing up this and starting the next print. We'll have another set of giveaways that we are going to be doing. But I did want to also mention the actual cleaning process for this. There is a maintenance-free cleaning process so that you're not actually involved with this and worrying about, is it being cleaned? Is it staying cleaned? Basically, it's going to run a cleaning cycle when it's not actively printing. So I believe it will run a deep cleaning cycle. If you haven't been using this for, I believe it was 72 hours, it runs a deep clean, letting it be basically know that, hey, you haven't been printing with it. We don't want the inks to dry up or anything like that. So it will run a deep clean and then be basically sitting and waiting for you to use it and operate with it for the next time. There's also individual cleaning cycles that you can run, or that it will automatically run in between print jobs as necessary. So if you, let's say you're printing things throughout the day and it's been a few hours, it's going to automatically run a cycle to clean those. There's also that you can manually run cleaning cycles on the machine. So like this morning before we got started, I ran a flash cleaning, which I think takes all of 30 seconds to a minute to run. And then there's a medium clean, and then there's a deep clean. Again, this is the thorough clean option there. One thing that I wanted to call out is you can also print, there are test prints that you can do to make sure that your ink is printing correctly and in the correct colors. You don't need any special paper or anything like that. I've just been using my standard sheets of white paper, and I put it on the adhesive mat there and then print my test pattern directly on this white paper to make sure that it's printing correctly. And then if one of the colors is not printing correctly, that's when you can run some of the maintenance jobs. So like whether it's the flash cleaning or the medium cleaning, or if you need to try and purge a particular color like blue or magenta or something like that, you can run those through those cycles. So this will be, I think this is like it says it's going to take about 10 minutes for this to print, which is good. But again, like what's fun for me is just coming up with different combinations and project ideas with this in mind. Because as a lot of you know, I do everything and anything 3D printing. And now with this, it's like, how can I further accessorize some of the things that I'm printing? One use case for this that I still haven't tried out yet is you can create your own custom set of stickers with this as well. We can actually, while this is printing, let's fire up the second giveaway, which will be good. So this is for this next giveaway. Let me get to my notes. We are going to be giving away 6 $150 gift cards to eufyMake's website so that you can buy whatever you'd like with the $150 gift card from eufyMake on their site. Again, we're going to be doing 3 here on YouTube in the comment section, and then we are going to be doing 3 over on the eufyMake live stream as well. So if you're interested in entering this giveaway, is it all set and ready to go? Yeah. If you're interested in entering this giveaway here on YouTube, you need to enter the text color accuracy. So color space accuracy, and then to enter in this giveaway. And then on the eufyMake website, if you're watching the live stream there should be a multiple choice answer. And again, I'm giving you the answer to the quiz, and it is color accuracy is the answer that you're going for to enter into this giveaway. And if you play your cards right, like I mentioned previously, you can pop into the eufyMake live stream and keep this YouTube live stream up, but pop over to the eufyMake live stream in another tab and enter both of these giveaways. Enter both of the drawings for this. So again, there's going to be 6 $150 gift cards that we're giving away. 3 here, 3 winners that we'll be picking on YouTube, 3 on the eufyMake website. And I can see everybody typing in color accuracy into the chat. So I'm going to have a wall of color accuracy here for the next half an hour as this, no, it's not half an hour. We're going to run this. We'll pick the drawing here once, maybe as this print is wrapping up. So you've got a few minutes to enter in this. We've got about 8 minutes to go for this print to finish anyways. Let's see. If there are color accuracy. This is also a good way for me to check all of your spelling to make sure that your spelling is correct. This is a grammar test. I didn't know. You bet you didn't think you were going into a grammar. Oh, it needs to be English, U.S. English color spelling, not the UK color spelling. Just to call that out. If you spell it not O-U-R, but just two O's. Yeah, no UK spelling in this. Make sure you're putting in the UK is right. But this is, again, you have just a lot of flexibility with this. What I was mentioning before with the cleaning kits. So there is a cartridge. This is the cleaning cartridge that the printer uses. This comes with one of the cleaning cartridges, but you can also additionally buy additional cleaning cartridges. I've been using the same cleaning cartridge for a while now, so this has lasted me more than a while. I'm not going to open it up because this is live printing, but the cleaning cartridge is on the left side of the machine. There's a panel that you can then literally pop this out and pop the cleaning cartridge in. Also, the front panel here, since this is printing, I'm not going to take the panel off, but this front panel can come out, and there's a filter as well up top that you can install and have replaced as needed. But let's see here. While that's printing, let me show you this. Here's an example of, if you want to zoom into this, it's just a slight, I don't have the third example on me, sorry. I wanted to show, like, again, I'm all about printing on my 3D prints. And this is an example of, this is no base white layer, which still looks pretty good, but it put down the white layer, one white layer here, and the color is a little bit more vibrant on this one because it had that under white base coat. This was a gray 3D print, and I purposely printed it in gray, and you guys will see here why in a moment. But that's, again, if you're using a white 3D print, you can help mitigate the amount of white ink that you're using while printing with that. The other thing is, these are all flat prints. I'll be showing you another example of this here in just a few minutes. That is that textured surface print. And I believe on the textured one, I inverted it so that the space, this is supposed to be like a window out into space. It looks, it's got a little bit more depth to it, so you can touch it. Everything else is raised where that is inset. It's just, again, you can play around with this, and there's so many different customization options when it comes to slicing. I don't even know if it's technically what the term is. It's slicing? I think it is slicing, but printing with this. Sorry, I saw a comment. Does it also act as a layer line filler? Yes. So this is what I was trying to show previously. Here is the signage that I did previously. Again, I'm messing around, playing around with things. I probably should have done this on a much smaller object to save on ink, but you can still see the layer lines popping through this. This is more glossy. I'm trying to remember, this was more glossy than white. And then this side, there's almost no layer lines whatsoever visible on this. And it's because I used a thicker base coat of white to help hide some of those layer lines on the print surface of this object here. Also, it's just really fun to texture, like the textures that this thing can produce is so fun. And this isn't even the extreme. I'm not even doing the extreme textures. These are just the basic, these are the lower end of the texture settings, and it still pops a really good amount. This was, by the way, just to give you a frame of reference, this is a larger object to print with all the textures, the thicker white coating. This was, I think, 1 hour to print, or just under 1 hour to print for this signage here. Let's see, do I have anything else? Oh, I can show this other fun one. So this was the, here was this little thing that I was showing previously is Repcord was here visiting here, Pooch was here visiting me, and we saw somebody doing this on TikTok where you take a picture of someone holding their nose up like this, and then what I did was take that and then took one of my outlets, and then here's an outlet cover, and I've been using this, which is why it's scratched up a bit. But then I can plug in my cables directly into my nose and into my mouth. Is this what eufyMake was intending for me to print with this machine when they sent it to me? Probably not. They were hoping for something a lot more creative than this. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm interested in printing and making. But again, this is like a really cool, fun way to just test out some of the texturing with this. The other thing that I want to play around with more is going to like Lowe's and Home Depot and picking up some of the bathroom tiles that you can get there in bulk packs and printing directly on top of those, and then giving those either, making those into like coasters or giving those out as gifts. There's just, again, a lot of possibility when it comes to what you can create with this machine, especially if you're looking to make it into like a marketing tool, a sales tool. But again, all right, we got a few minutes. There's like 2 minutes left on this print, and then we're gonna do the giveaway. That means you've got 2 minutes to enter in the giveaway. Again, we are giving away 6 $150 gift cards to the eufyMake website, 3 here on YouTube in the comments and the chat here, and then 3 over on the eufyMake website. So enter in on YouTube, if you haven't already, color accuracy, the US spelling of color, not the UK version of color. And then over on the eufyMake, if you're watching from the eufyMake live stream over on their website, there should be 2 questions that you can, or a question that you can answer, 2 choices to choose from. I'm giving you the answer. It's color accuracy. That's the choice that you want to select to, again, enter in to this giveaway. So we, again, will be able to announce the YouTube winners here live in the stream, and it will announce those once the giveaway is done. And then the eufyMake website winners will be contacted directly from eufyMake. So again, enter in the comment color accuracy to enter in this. How far does the large bed stick out when printing? I don't have the dimensions, but it's like, it sticks out the back, I think a little bit longer than the door in the back. The plastic door sticks out the back. It's not so much further from the back that you're gonna need behind the printer. Yes, and enter in color accuracy. Ajax, thank you. Appreciate that, Ajax. Yeah, about 300 millimeters. I'll take his word for it. Let's see if there was anything else that can answer in here that's came through. Lasers and layers. Wanted to know how many layers of white did I lay down to eliminate the print layer. That was 3 layers. That's, I think, the default is 3. This was 1 layer, and I did gloss with this. I wanted to see what the gloss effect would do. So this was 3, and it pretty much removed those layer lines entirely. Okay, and our print is finished, so let's do the giveaway. If you haven't already done it, you've got like 20 seconds here to enter in. Again, go in the YouTube comments, color accuracy, type in color accuracy. You probably haven't seen everybody else type that in. Go on the eufyMake website, their live stream. You can see, type in color accuracy there as well. Or excuse me, answer the question, color accuracy to enter the giveaway. Let's pick the winners of our 6 $150 gift cards for the eufyMake website. 3 here on YouTube, and the first winner is Bruno KH5BR. Congratulations. And then I think that gave Bruno, I think that repeated that. We've got Random Hacks also is the winner. So that's 2. And then 1 more coming in. We have Sean Styrey 9202. Congratulations to those 3 winners. Again, we have Bruno KH5BR, and then Random Hacks, and then Sean Stree 9202. Congratulations to those 3 winners here on the YouTube comments. for this giveaway for $150 gift cards to the eufyMake website. Again, eufyMake will be contacting directly the winners from the eufyMake live stream because we don't have access to broadcast those here. But they'll be contacting those winners. So hopefully you were able to enter in both. Plus, I can now show you this awesome print. So this took 15 minutes to print. And 15 minutes to print, and I printed a few of these. But this is one part. I printed this flat. And again, I just wanted to show printing this. I think this was with one base coat of white. I can still see a little bit of the layer lines here, but that's not really important to me because what is important is the overall project that this is going into, which is a really fun one here. So if we can cut over to the main camera, this hopefully will be a really cool optical illusion that I've created using the combination of 3D printing and the eufyMake E1 to create this really cool hallway spaceship scene that should hopefully make it look like you're looking down the hallway of this spaceship. That looks so cool. I'm seeing that up on the big TV. Oh my goodness. That looks ridiculously good. Okay. This is really cool. And let me break the effects for you guys as well. So you'll see here, it's really just a 3D printed pyramid shape. So all of these are flat objects. And then I use the texture tool to help give it a little bit of depth so that if you are actually looking in here closer to this, you can see this. These were a set of 3D printable files that I found over on MakerWorld that I then ended up customizing to create some of this artwork here and have that printed directly on. And it definitely breaks the effect. Like once your mind knows the trick, it's a little bit harder to fool it, but it is such a fun optical illusion. And I thought this was just a really unique use case for using the E1 here to actually present something that I've been thinking about for a while now. This is just a super rad project. The other cool thing is I'll be hanging this up here in my studio. This has mounting points on the back. I think I could even put a light in here so this would light up and illuminate. I don't have a light installed for this yet, but that's where this all comes into play. Can you also do you want to snap in and we'll do a close-up one? Just so that they can get a better idea of this one's really texturized as well. Like the front panel here has a lot more textured depth to it. Man, that looks even cool close up. That's so fun. I'm having a hard time not looking at the screen versus talking to you guys. It's just a really fun little project that I was able to crank together with the eufyMake. And then again, laid everything out using the software and then got it printed. Each of these panels, I think were, with the textured effect, I want to say it was like a 30-minute print for each of the larger panels. And then this center one was, I think, a 12-minute print for the textured center surface. But again, yeah, it's just how everything snaps together. Okay, I need to keep things moving because I still have the rotary attachment that I want to add on here, and we've got the final giveaway that we're going to be going into, which if you haven't already guessed, we're giving away a eufyMake E1 as I pop the door handle off there. So I'm going to actually install one of the other accessories that's available for the eufyMake is the rotary tool. Oh, is it good? Yeah. Is the rotary tool. This allows you to print directly on objects that are cylindrical, like this tumbler here, like this water bottle holder. So we're gonna line this up and get this installed, and hopefully I do this all correctly here so that we can get this printing on it. And I think I've got that. There we go. Ta-da! And then I push this in all the way to lock it in place, and we're good to go. Okay, so now I can come into the software. This is what's really cool is I can completely print all the way around the circumference of this object. And let's see here. I'm going to switch over to the Rotary tool, the Rotary bed here, and then we're going to do the auto measurement function. It also asks you whether or not, like, what's the shape of the bottle that you're trying to print on. Is it perfectly symmetrical? Is it, you know, kind of tapered in or out? So this one's perfectly symmetrical. It does not have a handle. And then if you wanted to do a full wrap, you can do that as well. So I'm going to say start measuring here. Oh. Is it? Oh, I don't think I had it locked in place. There we go. Okay. I was wondering why, sorry, also when you lock this in place, it's intelligent. It has sensors in this, so normally it automatically knows that the rotary attachment is there. So it's gonna go through the process now of scanning the bottle, and we'll be able to print directly on the bottle. I'm also gonna try and get in and answer some of your questions as we're printing this object here, but we'll give this a second to print. And then we'll load up some artwork. I've got some custom artwork that my son designed that he drew himself on his iPad. And we're gonna load up on this. And so let's get this going here. So I think we're gonna go with his ugly Garfield. So, or his cat, I should say. So I'm gonna scale this down. I could do like a huge one here, or we were playing around with this yesterday and I did multiple, and I'll show the other one. Just for time's sake, we don't have a ton of time here. So I'm gonna knock this down again to one layer, and then we're gonna keep that as a flat surface, and then we're gonna print this. And we'll let this rip, and then I'll help answer some questions, and then we'll prep for the last and final giveaway, which again is for the eufyMake E1. We're giving away one of those. Great, yeah, this estimate is, it was giving me an estimate. It takes about 12 minutes to print, which would be perfect. So we'll be able to see this, do the giveaway, see the results of that, printing on something cylindrical, which is really cool. This is still new to me, by the way, printing with this. I had not played around with that. I've done one other print with that. So it's, I'm interested to see, like, I want to start printing some Uncle Jessy merch of my own with this. I'm a big water bottle fan here. I also have my own coffee mugs that I regularly am using. So being able to print my own Uncle Jessy merch is really cool. But I wanted to see here in the comments before I have some things that I can go through to help answer. But wanted to see if there was any specific comments that you all had. If you're using white undercoat of the print, will it work on any color? Oh yeah, white undercoat of the print, it will work on any color. So that wasn't a question, that was a, that was a statement. Let's see, Hendrix, what's up, dude? Hendrik, we need to get a eufyMake in your hand. Hendrik does amazing electroplating print projects, and would love to see what kind of crazy stuff he could come up with one of these in his hands. I think he's a bit of a mad scientist there, so that's good. But yeah, this again, the eufyMake, not only is it allowing you to print with just flat images, you know, very vibrant images, you can also do textured surfaces like the space scene that I showed you there previously has a lot of the surfaces, like the grates, you can feel those as you're running your hands over it. Or each of the stars here in this little solar system, I can feel the raised texture of each of those stars. Or the lights here, you can feel a lot of the artwork. And the software does a lot of that for you. So it's not like I had to know how, I didn't need a 3D bump map or the depth map, I think is what it was called. That if I did have one, I could load that in here. It's gonna automatically figure that out for you. And then there are tools baked into this that if I wanted to even go more extreme than that, they have some AI tools that can really make it chunky with some of those print and textures that you're creating.
But yeah, this also, I saw a comment, does it check the height? Yeah, it's gonna check the height of each object so that it knows exactly how far away it needs to be to print from it. I've been using the snapshot tool throughout all of this. There is also 0 point, a calibration tool that you can use. So if you have a surface that is like multiple surface heights, the 0 point will allow you as the user to specify, here is the highest point of the object. Make sure this is where you should be printing from so that it's not crashing into anything else or potentially screwing things up further from that. Can you print on a face of an action figurehead? That is an awesome idea. I would imagine that would be somewhat similar to printing on printed on a golf ball, a curved surface. And an action figurehead is fairly small. I think you might be able to get away with that. Like, you would just need you probably need a 3D printed custom jig to hold the head in place so that it's printing directly on it. And then you could print the details. So maybe it's just the general shape. Where it's not really a nose there or the mouth, and it's printing a lot of the color details on that that's actually a really fun project idea. I might have to try that out since I'm a big action figure junkie. There's like toys scattered throughout my office. Can you print on embossed 3D prints? Yeah, you can. You can definitely print on, shoot, I don't have it here. When I was testing out, this was an original test I did a year, last fall, I think. I was doing, I was testing out, could I 3D print the texture of this and then print directly on top of it? And you can. I preferred the results of it creating its own texturing versus me printing on that because it has to the ink still has to wrap around the surface a little bit. So you can definitely, it probably take a little bit of playing around with to see how extreme the raised surfaces of the 3D print can be. How durable is it? Yeah, you can scratch, like if you scratch at it hard enough, it'll scratch. The other thing that they mention is, like, I'm printing on this bottle here. You do not want to put that through your washing machine. They don't recommend using any kind of printed surface in your washing machine. I think Ajax was doing some cool tests with printing on fabric. So that's something I'm still interested in playing around with. I can make my own t-shirts, especially with the flexible inks and how that will work. I printed on an FDM wallet and it's super durable. That's awesome. See? Yeah, 0.6, like the raised surface, you can play around with that, like how high of a raised surface you want. Anywhere between like a 0.3 to 0.6 is really the sweet spot where you're gonna get a lot of texture, but not, I feel like, waste a lot of ink while going through that. And by the way, again, I've been using, I've had this unit for a few months now. And this is all still using the same set of inks. And I printed a lot of magnets for friends and families. So been printing a bunch of random stuff with mine. Natasha, the not dishwasher. So if you're printing on one of those bottles or coffee cups, you want to hand wash those, not run those through the dishwasher. I did want to also mention, so we are going to be doing, at the end of this print, we're going to be doing the last giveaway, which is for the eufyMake E1. I also have a wanted to mention that, again, the eufyMake E1 is in stock as of today. So this is like the first time, like if you've been outside of the Kickstarter backers, it's like not been available. Today is the first day that this is back in stock. There are links pinned here in the comments as well as in the description. You can go to eufyMake's website, check out some of the bundled offers that they have, where you can get up to $400 off the deluxe order and an additional up to $400 off with additional gifts, totaling up to $800 off, depending on what you're purchasing through that with that deluxe bundled option. And like lots of free gifts that they're giving away with that. They're also going to be getting some extra inks with that, which is really cool. But we are going to be gearing up for this last giveaway. So are we good to go to start that up? All right. So what we're going to end up doing is, for this one, is a little bit different. You're going to need to go to the link. Do we have the link live on there? Okay. In the comment should have the link to the eufyMake website, where you can type in your email address on the eufyMake website to enter into the raffle to win a eufyMake E1. That is the basic bundle, if I remember correct. eufyMake. So yeah, there we go. So we've got a deluxe bundle option, and then there is the standard option. So here's, so is there a, I'm trying to just make sure that everybody's able to get access to that. So again, to enter into the E1 giveaway, there is a link here in the comments that you can click on that will take you to the eufyMake website. I'm going to that myself just to double check that that's working. Of course, it's telling me I need to install something on my iPad. And then it'll ask you to enter in your email address where you can enter in to the giveaway. Is that there? Is it popping up for everybody good? That for them to click on? Okay. Just want to make sure that everybody can find that. Someone saying, I don't see where, not seeing the link. Where's the link? Is it... What's that? Okay, it should be the pinned comments. Should be in the pinned comment there on the page. I can't see for some reason. I'm also trying to pull it up here just to help with you all. Pin comment. There we go. Go to this. Oh, and then, okay, so I see it now. So when you're on the eufyMake, if you want to cut over to my laptop view so people can see this, just to see where they can see where it says enter giveaway. There's a button on the live stream on the eufyMake website that says enter giveaway. That's where you're going to want to click to enter in your email address to enter the giveaway. Yep. So we've got a picture-in-picture here of the of me and the giveaway. So again, we're giving away, if you haven't already, go to the link in the comments. I've got a pinned comment that'll take you to the eufyMake website. We're doing it, it's a little bit different for this last one since it is the printer. And then once you go to the website, you'll see their live stream, which is this same live stream, but there is an enter giveaway button that you can click on that's overlaid on top of their live stream. Enter in your email address, and that's all it is to enter in to that giveaway. So again, there are up to $800 that you can get with the eufyMake, excuse me, up to $800 in offering that you can get with the eufyMake E1, the deluxe bundle that's up on their website right now. Again, it's officially in stock, ready to ship. Get up to $800 in savings. You get a free gift when you place your order. You can click on the ordering link in the comment area to place your order. I was mandated that I have to read this according to this piece of paper. But if you're interested in picking up the eufyMake E1, you'll obviously be able to check that out on the eufyMake website. Again, I'm having a blast with this so far. With this, they, again, mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, they are constantly updating the software as well as the firmware for this machine. I've had multiple updates for it. We literally just had a new firmware and software update that rolled out this morning, and there were new features that we were able to check out during the live stream where it's like auto aligning the artwork and then auto cropping some of the images so that I don't have to go in there and manually crop out the extra overspray that would occur, which also is something that can, like when you're printing on flat objects, it will do a bit of overspray depending on what you're printing. I can't for the life of me remember what I did with the smaller bed here. But I also wanted to just mention there are some Q&A stuff that wanted to mention. There is when if you're purchasing an E1, there is a special going on right now from May 6th through May 19th. So you can get up to $400 off plus up to $400 in gifts with your purchase of your E1, especially if you're doing the deluxe edition. They have $100 off the eufyMake Care, which is auto-applied at checkout. They have, you're gonna get with the deluxe bundle, an extra $300 in savings with the ink and cleaning cartridge kit. They've got shipping protection for multiple countries. And then there is a starter materials pack for basically the EU, UK, and Germany only. And then there is, everything is valid. Basically, there's going to be some, the $100 off Eufy Care is valid until the end of May. The campaign, though, that this sale period is going on is until May 19th. And I believe deals can be stacked. And our print is finished, and I can take this off and show you. Oh, I'm super excited about that. That was so here's my son is constantly drawing on his iPad, and he has a plushie, his derpy cat, and this is his drawing of his derpy cat that printed directly here on the container. That turned out so good. This is flat. It still has a little bit of a textured surface to it. I wanted to show you just the other test that we did as well. This was a longer print job because there were two. We did it huge. This is the same cat printed huge. This is on a coffee tumbler. And then here is a musician that he drew that he really likes, that we printed directly on the surface of this. But I've also seen that there is a project over on the eufyMake Studio in the app for printing directly on this, that people have created projects that if you wanted to print the full circumference around one of these bottles, there are, I think 2 or 3 that I've seen are these. One was a WD-40 can that makes it look like this is a WD-40 spray bottle, which is really cool. But again, we have the E1 giveaway that we're doing. If you haven't already gotten into that, again, click on the link that's pinned in the comments. That'll take you to the eufyMake website where they have their live stream set up. It's the same stream here, but on top of that stream, there should be a little button that says Enter Giveaway, where it will ask you to enter in your email to enter in to the giveaway for the eufyMake E1. And it is the basic edition of the machine. The basic edition also, I did want to mention, comes with the printer. It's going to come with ink. It's going to come with the cleaning kit. It will come with the mini bed as well as the large bed. The rotary attachment, this is an accessory add-on that you can purchase separately. If you buy the deluxe edition, this comes with it. So if you plan on printing bottles, you can do that. There is also a laminating machine as well that they have that you can add on as an attachment. So if you're printing stickers and need to have those laminated or other things, you can do that. They also have your infinite canvas system, which is an attachment so that you can basically infinitely print. If you wanted to do posters, really long posters, you'd be able to print with that attachment as well. But those are all add-on accessories for that, for the E1. I did also want to mention that there is going to be an ink subscription plan that they're going to be offering where you can save up to 30% off the ink costs by joining in on their upcoming the ink subscription continuous ink supply system that I believe will be available here either this month or later next month, and will gift you again up to 30% off in savings when it comes to ink costs if you're continuously printing. Like if you're doing this as a part-time job, so to speak, or printing and selling things on Etsy or local trade shows, that would probably be a great way to save some extra money on the inks. But again, the amount of ink that I've been able to print with has been pretty incredible here. I've been able to print a ton of different things. Have not changed out the inks yet, which is just awesome. And just having a lot of fun experimenting and playing around with this, especially when it comes to how I can mix this in with a lot of things that I'm 3D printing. One of the other things that I'm looking at doing is I have not created stickers yet with this, but I have a Cricut machine at home as well, so I could print with this on some of that material, the sticker material, and get really good quality stickers or textured stickers potentially, and then use my Cricut to cut those out to create my own custom stickers, which is really cool. Wexter, what's going on, dude? Let's see. Yeah, again, I just want to make sure that people have enough time here to enter in this giveaway. The giveaway is different than the ones that we've been doing throughout the stream here. There's no thing that you have to type in. Just there is a pinned comment that if you go to that pinned comment and go and click on the link, it will take it. Sorry, is the pinned comment not there anymore? It says the pinned comment I'm seeing is for the first and second round giveaway winners.
Should we pin the back? We're going to pin the website back.
Yeah. Sorry, I can do that real quick if you need me to. I can do that. Oh, no. I've got my iPad next to me, which is causing... Oh, you got it? Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. There we go. So it should be pinned there if you didn't already see that. It's also in the video description is the link that you can go to the eufyMake website where you'll see this exact stream, but there is in the top left-hand corner of the stream, it should say enter giveaway, or there's a button that you click on there, and then fill in your email address to enter in the giveaway for the eufyMake E1. And again, that is the basic bundle that'll come with the ink, the cleaning cartridge, the small bed, and the large bed so that you can basically start printing and making some really cool custom projects of your own. We'll let this go for like another minute or two, and then we will do the giveaway. But I did, again, I'm just super proud of this. I wanted to bring this back out and toot my own horn because of how cool this turned out. This was the optical, if you missed it already, this was the optical illusion that I created using the combination of my 3D printers and the eufyMake E1.
We can announce the winner of the biggest prize in like countdown 10 seconds.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
You can say that.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I guess, is it ready to do it now? All right. If you haven't already entered, it's like now or never to enter in for the U1. We will be announcing the winner here in just a few seconds here. I'll do a countdown and then we'll announce the winner of this. So I'll do a countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is, we'll find out. I think she's gonna hand me a piece of paper with who the winner is. I don't think it's gonna pop up on the screen here. They're, I think, checking it over there. I also want to say a big thank you to the team here that eufyMake had come in to help with this, the setup. We got multiple cameras going on here, all the lighting, getting everything all set up and ready, helping answer questions and all the comments here, and guiding me throughout all of this here. It's been a really awesome setup and just journey working with the eufyMake team on making this stream happen with all of you all here. So thanks everybody for joining in with this. And we're going to find out here momentarily who the winner is for their eufyMake E1, again, which is back, shouldn't say back in stock, it's now officially in stock and available over on eufyMake's website. Again, while we're waiting on that, I'm just gonna, I can't get over how awesome this looks. I have a big TV mounted on the wall and we have the live stream up so I can see this up on screen. It's just, it's so cool. So cool. Okay, I think we have the winner. And the winner is, let me see. All right, the winner is, is it the same thing? Hopefully it's Blunt Seeds. Hopefully, is everything okay to show on your phone here? The winner is Blunt Seeds. So congratulations to Blunt Seeds on winning the eufyMake E1 bundle. You're gonna love it. eufyMake will be reaching out to, again, all the winners from today's giveaway for the live stream. Again, congrats everybody for hanging in here with me this morning. As expected, live streams and Uncle Jesse are always a fun, wild experience. So, and this was, right on par with some of the fun stuff, getting this up and running. I was just looking for the, here we go. I will also be sharing, if anybody has a eufyMake and wanted to print your own shocked Uncle Jesse, I'll be sharing this. I'll also be sharing the printout project files for the optical illusion for the spaceship over on the eufyMake platform there within their software.
Call to action.
Yeah.
Place the order now.
Yeah. And if you're interested in the eufyMake E1, again, the deluxe bundle offer is available now over on their website where you can save up to $800 off. There is $400 off, up to $400 in savings. There's up to $400 in gifts as well for that package, which is in stock now. So check out the links in the description as well as in the pinned chat there. It'll take you to the eufyMake website to pick up one of the U1s for yourself. I just wanted to say thank you all for watching and hanging out in the stream. If you have anything that you'd like to see me try and print out, hit me up here in the comments or shoot me a message on one of my socials. I'll be posting more of the projects. I'll be posting a follow-up with some of how I made this project as well and getting this back out to everyone so that you can see a better idea of how this all came together. But yeah, thank you so much for watching all. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again to the eufyMake team as well